The Three Sides to a Story is a pop culture podcast provided as a public service, but is neither a legal interpretation nor a statement of policy. Reference to any specific product or entity does not constitute an endorsement or recommendation by Three Sides to a Story or the hosts. The views expressed by guests are their own, and their appearance on the podcast does not imply an endorsement of them or any entity they represent. Views and opinions expressed on Three Sides to a Story are those of the hosts and do not necessarily reflect the view of any entities they represent or any of its officials. If you have any questions about this disclaimer, please contact 502-696-5300 and ask Daniel Cameron why he didn't arrest the cops who killed Breonna Taylor.
Yo, you are now rocking with Three Sides to the Story, the pop culture podcast for the people. They say there's three sides to a story, one side, the other side of what it really is. Each episode will tackle topics from three perspectives, try to get to the truth. It's your boy Tony B with the homies Rex, Cruz, and Aubrey. Follow us on Instagram at Three Sides to a Story, on Twitter at Three Sides Pod, on Facebook at Three Sides Podcast. Subscribe, tune in, and turn us up on all your podcast platforms.
You're not rocking with the best.
Yo. What it do?
What it do?
What's poppin', y'all?
Ain't nothing, man. Just
chicken grease.
Chicken, yeah, that's definitely what's happening, man.
Chicken grease. Yeah,
What's
man.
popping? Bates, are you in the building?
Yeah, we back. We on. We live.
What up, Beto? Yo, so fellas, today, it's March 31st. This marks 2 years since the young king Nipsey Hussle passed away.
He didn't pass away, man. He was murdered. He was killed.
Yeah, he was definitely murdered.
Yeah, murdered. Man, so before we set off the episode, let's take a quick moment for Nipsey. Long live Nipsey Hussle.
Man, I just found some shit in my raw papers that say manufacturer's suggested retail price $1,095. I don't know what the fuck this is, man.
What you talking about?
It was in my raw papers. You know how they give you those little pieces of thing that you can like you can roll up and have like a little filter?
Oh, yeah.
You know, I just pulled it out and this shit say $1,095. Manufacturer's suggested retail price. This is weird, man. What the fuck these dudes doing?
Making you
This
think?
is wild, man.
Making you think.
Shit, man.
Yeah, man. But not, going back to Nipsey, man. It's crazy. 2 years already passed since he was murdered in L.A. And we talk about timeless music and albums that stand the test of time. I know a lot of people were revisiting Victory Lap. Some of us keep that in rotation at all times anyway. But I think that was definitely one of those albums, right? I think in an era where of music where the word classic gets tossed around like way too loosely, that this joint was definitely a classic for real, right?
Yeah, man.
I think.
Yeah, go ahead, Rex.
No, man, go ahead. I didn't say the same thing. I was like, most definitely unfortunate. The brother didn't get a chance to, enjoy the celebration with it too, as well. But it's definitely a classic, 100%.
Yeah, it's a classic, man. I mean, it's you know what? I don't know if it would have been a classic if the brother didn't, meet his untimely demise. But it was an amazing album. It was an album to walk him out, this bullshit ass world that we in. So I think in that sense, man, it was a soundtrack to his untimely demise, in my opinion, man.
His grand pardon.
Yeah, man. Like, cause when you heard it, man, like when that's what I love about LA, man. It's so full of culture, right? And like watching that funeral and watching them, ride down Slauson. I think they was riding down Slauson. And they was just riding, and the motorcycles pull up, the bikes pull up, and his music was bumping. And he was like, "Oh man, this dude was the voice of the streets." Like you don't see that from Chicago necessarily, but the impact. But when you see it, it's like, man, like this dude changed lives, man. Like and
Yeah,
so
for
rest
real.
in peace of Nips.
They kind of packed out the Staples Center in a way, right?
Yeah, 100% he did. 100% he did.
I think the last time they did that was for Michael Jackson. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I mean, that's the level of impact, and I mean, going back to what you said, Aubrey, I think you brought up a very interesting point. Because I think for people like us, you know, hip hop heads, or like, you know, people that knew Nipsey, that were rocking with Nipsey, uh, and the mixtape prior to this, like this was kind of like the like we those people know this was like his like kind of magnus opus, right? Like so, I think, you know, it's a complete body of work, you know, that from a hip hop perspective, like, you know, and just from a content and everything, the album is kind of flawless when you even replay it from front to back. I mean, there's no bad songs, there's no skippable joints. You know, he hits you with bars that make you think, like, you know, and he's talking about topics that were important. He wasn't just talking about bullshit. Like, you know, he's talking about ownership, entrepreneurship, empowerment, community, like building a community. And I think, you know, the production, the features were dope. You know, it just seemed like this was very strategic. You know, Kendrick, Puff, like YG, Dom Kennedy, like that was definitely the album of the year, not just the rap album of the year, even though the Grammys gave it to Cardi B or whatever, you know. Uh, but I think, like to your point though, Aubrey, Master P was talking about that today in an interview on Rolling Out with the homie Amir Shah, and he was basically saying that people weren't rocking with Nipsey like that until he died. Like he mentioned the album specifically and how it only took off like sales wide, and how it's like one of the biggest albums in the world right now after he died. And he's like, BT gave him this humanitarian award after he died, and he was like, why didn't they give it to him the year before? He was basically saying he appreciated him while he and saw what he was doing while he's still alive, and he's just kind of corny that he's blowing up after when he's not here. Like, you know,
I mean, definitely yes.
That's the case for everything, bro. John Lennon, fucking Tupac.
But I mean, but at the same time, I think I was going to say at the same time though, I think his celebration had just started. You know what I mean? It was, and again, the Grammy is not the litmus test by any means at all, but you know, he was nominated and all those things prior to being killed. So I think with it being, you know, he started, not saying started, but, you know, additional deals, you know, moving in, not saying in different crowds, but just, you know, in
the Puma partnership.
Yeah. So I think, you know what I'm saying, it was
Rock Nation now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think it was kind of, I don't want to say the beginning, but it was, you know, and I'm using it in the right way, but it was more of the a full structured approach to it now, from, you know, kind of the independent aspect, and now, you know, starting to get the allies in a different space. So
that's why I think, to your point, Rex, you're 100% right, and I think that's what makes the story even sadder, right? Because like the album, like all the symbolism behind it, the victory lap, the marathon continues, the flag, you know, all that, like
the strategy.
Yeah, like it was essentially like this was the victory lap for like the whole mixtape thing that he had done.
The
right?
run, real test. That was the end of that era, man.
Yeah,
that victory lap was the end of that era, man. That's how I look at it, man. Like, you know, we haven't seen nothing like that. I don't know if we're gonna see nothing like that for a long time, but if we do, this victory lap was like, what is the victory lap? Victory lap is like you get your flowers. You get your flowers for you winning.
Literally getting the flowers.
Yeah, that's when they throwing the roses at you and woo woo woo. You know what I mean? Like that's what that's about. So nobody should be able to use that scenario unless you feel like you got enough of that shit to make it pop. You know what I mean? If you ain't got that shit to make it pop, then you shouldn't have a victory lap, bro.
Man, so I mean, that's what I think that's dope about it is there was so much work done prior to his first, you know, debut album, quote unquote, right? Like, so to call your first quote unquote debut album the victory lap based on all the work you put in prior, I think that says a lot about who Nipsey was as a person, and you know, just that's just amazing. I mean,
agreed.
Yeah,
timeless.
Timeless. Shout out to Nipsey. Shout out to DJ VIP, Dom Kennedy, RC Davis, all the crew.
Black Sam.
Black Sam, Lauren London, everybody, man. It's a tragedy, man. Tragedy. R.I.P. Nipsey Hussle.
Marathon continues.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yo, did you guys see? I don't want to stay on this too too long, but he's in the news. So y'all see that elevator video, man? That had those Jay-Z and Solange vibes, man.
We say Cash should have took the stairs, huh?
right.
Yeah, I saw that shit. That shit nuts, yo.
We were just talking about this situation, but not this situation last episode, man.
Asking for the keys back.
yeah. Yo, man, that shit was kind of wild, man. Like,
let me ask y'all this: have y'all ever gotten into some drama, with a young lady, but not obviously into, to that degree? Like, can you imagine what that shit would look like looking back at it and not knowing, that people are watching and
Did everybody saw it?
Man,
all eyes on me.
I think that's funny that you mentioned that, because like in the video, there's a point where Rex and I were talking about this yesterday, where he looks at the camera.
Yeah, he like, oh shit,
like, you know what I'm saying?
There go two deals.
Right. And then the elevator opens, and then someone's standing there, and she's sitting on the floor still, and it's like, man, like, they were just previewing the new music, teasing their new album, like, social media already going in too, like, because it looked like what it looked like. Whatever,
you know what's funny, man?
Saying?
To be honest with you, I don't know if motherfuckers give a fuck about what's the name of that group?
Buddy, Migos.
Like, I mean, yeah.
Migos like, might be dead now, huh?
Yeah, you got to capitalize on your time. Like, cats move on so fast, man. Unless they come with some shit that's fire.
No, Aubrey, I'm telling you though, Aubrey. Right now, like, if you've been peeping the internets, they've been like teasing new music, and like they got the kids hype, man. Like,
they probably got your boy.
I'm not gonna say necessarily the kids hype, yeah. But they got the internet hype, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then Khaled had him in the studio and was posting shit and talking about the song that they just did for his album with Migos. Is like, Khaled be talking all that shit on his song, but he was saying like this song is that Migos joint that for his album he was basically saying that's that one for his album. Like, so they still got. Like, people still trying to hear Migos, according to the internet. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe. So how you think that, like, in general, like now, like you said, Aubrey, like back in the day, you don't have this scrutiny from like a social media perspective, and you might have a paparazzi scrutiny, but you don't got like a TMZ or whatever it is, like that type of paparazzi, right? So, where it's social media and all that. How do you think like this is going to impact like that? If like, like we're just saying, like, people are like checking for this. All them videos they're posting with like a new Quavo verse, a new Takeoff verse, new Offset verse. Everybody's going crazy on Instagram and shit for it. Like, so how do you think this affects like an album rollout and sales in this era? Like, it was bad. It was challenging enough and bad enough for you if you did some stupid shit like this back in the day and it got out, right? Like, your career's over type shit. I don't know if it's necessarily that here, but how do you think it impacts the album rollout? Like,
oh man, this. You know what, man? You either play into it and you negotiate with the young lady, and y'all play into it, or you fall back, man. Like, I don't. You know what, man? Well, you know what's crazy, man? If this would have been our generation, hypothetically, your career would have been over.
Yeah, that's what T was saying.
Oh God, yeah, that's what I mean.
Like these young cats don't
really care. Social media. That's without the social media. That's what just like the elevator video, and that goes on the news or whatever, right?
I mean, I don't know, man, because I mean, honestly, social media. Because I remember, like, all right, so back in the day, thinking about like Mike Tyson,
right?
Yeah.
But I think the difference is, and I don't want, and I don't mean it. Whatever. You saw it. People saw whatever happened, but I guess it was bad. But was it that bad? You know what I'm saying? I don't know if it even making sense what I'm trying to say. They were pulling and shoving. That's bad. Definitely. That is 100% bad. You know what I mean? Shouldn't be happening. But I think what I'm trying to say is like, they weren't like punching or push, you know what I'm saying? Or altercating or anything like that. Is that the reason why cats are like, oh, you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, they wasn't scrapping like that,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's not like another
Fisticuffs.
elevator video where chicks got knocked out. You know what I'm saying?
Or
Like,
dudes got knocked out or whoever. You know what I mean? Not
Yeah.
even just the chicks, but it wasn't, you know what I mean? Yeah, to what you got, they weren't scrapping. It wasn't a fisticuff situation.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
At least what we saw.
What I would say, man, is that, you know, we support women 100%. But
100%.
And if you feel like you ever being assaulted by some sucker, make sure you have your 380 right next to you and pop that in his leg.
Yeah.
And lay his ass down. Don't deal with that bullshit, man. Like,
all right, so,
a real man know how to do it.
So, question: do you think Chris Brown's career would have been over if there was a video of him and Rihanna?
Nope.
Well, I think
not because they had the pictures, right? So
they had the pictures, but a video though.
But
a video.
Yeah, I think.
But I think there's
worse.
But I think you all, yes, the pictures and the video were definite because you physically saw it. But I think what kind of was there was it because nobody really said anything would happen. It was just kind of a mystery, right? Not saying a mystery, but it wasn't like
it was.
It was, yeah, right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so Rihanna, it kind of for a second maybe it sounded like Rihanna was hitting him first, and then it sounded like he was hitting.
Remember,
you didn't know the sequence of actions, right?
Exactly. I appreciate y'all.
He was fucked up too. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it wasn't just a one-sided story. So
and they was driving in a Lambo. They was
fighting.
They was in a Lambo with some shit.
Yeah, and she never made it seem, and I don't think she was ever like she was the victim. She was just like, this shit's fucked up. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. With that being said,
it was a fight.
She could have been
working. It was a real live fight.
It was a fight. Yeah,
right.
Beating his ass.
Yeah. And I think that's what the reports
full
were
facts.
like that. It's that they were literally going both in it, right? It wasn't just like you said, it wasn't just a one-sided thing.
He wasn't beating her, for lack of a better word. You know?
But that's what the story or how it kind of was portrayed, right? So you like, I guess going back to what Beto said, like, would a video made difference if you saw the whole thing? Like,
I think it's also the way it was, the communication post that came out, and I'm speaking more directly from both of them more immediately.
True.
You know what I mean? I think that's the difference. So even if you see the video, you see it, you don't necessarily know what's going on. I mean, you do, but you
and we can't judge that, right, Rex? It's like that's like putting a camera in everybody's house, and every time you and your lady or your man or whatever argue, people can judge it and be like, "Oh, he was wrong. He was." Like, that's not y'all fucking business, man. One, you shouldn't be seeing it. Two, if it's happening, then you handle it. You know what I mean? Like, handle it. Like, hopefully every woman knows how to protect themselves. And if they don't, hopefully they got somebody that can,
come get them. Like,
come get them.
Call your brother or call your cousin or somebody.
Man.
You know what I'm saying?
Don't feel like you can do it by yourself.
Don't feel like you alone. Like, make sure you call somebody if you can't protect yourself.
Because more than not, ain't no real stand-up man gonna let like a woman in his life, no matter who she is, go through some bullshit like that. We're gonna try to figure out how to handle that, man.
Even if you don't like each other. Yeah.
Hell no. Yeah, you definitely. Yeah. Love to all the ladies out there.
Love to all the ladies, man. That's a fact.
We
respect y'all. Straight up. We respect y'all. And we love y'all opinion. We love y'all energy. We love y'all anger. We love all that shit. Them thick thighs, fat behinds, beautiful minds.
Stretch marks, all that.
Stretch marks, all that, man. We love all that, man. We here to protect y'all.
We will 100% protect y'all. Word is bond. That's
Tony
true.
B security team now hiring.
Hit Rex Cruz at rexcruz.com. What was that last week?
Or go to waistdown.com.
Yo, man. So another thing I want to ask y'all about is, man, what y'all think about all the trades with the Brooklyn Nets this season, man? So now they went and got your man's LaMarcus Aldridge. They had picked up Harden and Griffin. They already had Kyrie and KD. So
they got Steve Nash coming off the bench. I heard Stoudemire about to be back next week.
That's
you know my opinion, man. I'm gonna speak on the East real quick, right? You know why they doing that? You know what
they're trying to stop. Let's hear. Don't say nothing, Tony. Don't say nothing, Basil. Why? Let's hear.
You tell it, Rex. You already know.
No, man. I'm completely open. I'm a student right now.
You a goddamn lie. You JK ass
Doing another
motherfucker.
game.
Nah, because
Teacher.
you know what?
Coach.
They gotta stop Giannis, man. They gotta stop Giannis and our impenetrable bench.
Rex is choking
I
over
choked.
there, bro.
I literally choked. That was the
Dude.
wrong time.
Then who else are they going after in the East? Like, who else you going after? You're not going after Boston. Who you going
Cats
after?
ain't even thinking about the
Who you
East.
talking about, the
They're not thinking
76ers
about the
in?
East.
So no, I'm saying like you have to build your team.
Afterthought.
No, you have to build
Nah.
your team to come out the East, bro.
Nah, these cats looking at the big
They're
prize.
No,
building, they're
but I'm
building the
saying,
team for
but-
the finals.
So Rex, before you can get to the big picture, you got to still come out the East.
They already had a
I
team
dig
to
it.
come out the
But
East.
that's what they're building a team
Brooklyn
to
never
prepare for
had
the
a team
final.
to come out the East, bro.
Yo, bro,
the team they had before LaMarcus Aldridge could have come
real
out
quick.
there.
Man, y'all
Real
tripping,
quick.
man. Now y'all
Hold on.
y'all changing the
So now, real
subject
quick.
now.
No, we're gonna jump right back
No,
to
we're
the
not.
finals. But I think check it. I mean, your boy Kevin Durant is gonna make Giannis look bad when if and even when that comes to fruition.
Comes
you
into
know?
play.
Oh,
yeah.
word? That's what you think?
Oh, bro, it's gonna look real funny.
Ah, okay.
It's gonna look real funny. It's
Okay.
gonna look real funny.
Okay.
Real funny.
That's fantastic, man.
Nah,
I
it's
feel
gonna
that.
look
That's
I feel
funny,
that.
fantastic.
I feel that.
Tony,
But yo,
Tony, am I lying?
nah, you not.
I don't
and
care
I think,
what you
I think
asking Tony, man. Tony don't solidify nothing.
no, because the bigger question is like you said, it's not a conversation about the East. We've been past that conversation. I think it's about obviously this is a play for the finals. It's
a finals move
versus the West, not a play versus that. How we gonna come
I
out?
totally disagree.
That was last year.
No. I totally disagree, bro. At the end of the day, you have to come out the East or the West to be in the finals. So you
Okay,
have to
but-
win your area, man. Like you can't you can't just build a team like that and then expect to get dropped out in the
Niggas
first
ain't-
round. You know what I'm saying?
That's
Like
like
you got to
saying-
build a team for the
but
finals.
Let's not.
man.
Yeah, right, Rex. Let's not omit the LeBron factor in this whole equation here. KD was clowning LeBron. I forget what year that was, but before he came to Brooklyn, for switching and stacking teams, like
The
sub
Miami
dissing him.
teams.
Yeah, sub dissing on Twitter and shit. Like, but now he's going even harder, and
wait.
like.
This is stop number
Dude,
2.
that was like 2014, man.
No, but
you
this
gotta
is stop
relax,
number 2.
bro. You got to
Keep in
relax.
mind-
But
pulled
it's
up the
2021
first.
and it's 2021 and look at the team that is being built in Brooklyn. So this is clearly being done solely for the purpose of Braun and meeting Braun in the
it's
finals.
being
Of
built
which
to
is-
get out the
LeBron.
East.
it
It's
has
been-
nothing to do with the
Nah, it's
with
being built
Giannis
to get out.
and,
Man, you
and
tripping.
Milwaukee.
It's
You
being built
crazy.
to get out the East.
It's a
being
finals
built to get out.
conversation.
Nah, you tripping. It's being
Nah,
built to
you
get
wildin'.
Giannis and them cats didn't even make it out of the East last year
All right.
themselves. What are
All
you
right.
talking about?
No,
Yes,
what are you
yeah.
talking about? They didn't make it to the East.
Miami made the finals, bro.
They didn't get out the East.
They didn't get out the East.
Right, but we
What
did
do
it.
you- what do you miss?
And we didn't do it with no superstars. We did it with raw talent.
Nah, here we go. Now we ain't do it with this.
Now-
Regardless,
now we don't have-
you
Nah,
guys
I
ain't even
tripping
in
on
the
I
top
ain't tripping
3.
on the super teams, man. All I'm saying, yo, y'all keep trying to talk over me, man. I don't understand this, man. Like, I
We
don't
want to get to the
understand.
main
Because
we're
y'all
trying to
not
get to the
doing
main
nothing.
topic.
Y'all not doing nothing. Y'all teams is garbaggio.
Man,
But
you
I'm
can't
saying,
even.
what I'm saying is that you got to build a team to come out the East. You have to. That has to be your first step. You can't
There
be
it
like,
is.
oh,
So
I'm going
after
for
that-
a championship.
Okay. So that
After
said, Aubrey.
Hold on. Do we agree
I feel
on
it.
this or not?
Yes. So can we establish that that's what? Okay,
That's
then
step one.
they've done that. So next step is this team going to come out of the? Is this team going to come out of the East then?
Dude, you don't
This
know.
new-
We don't know.
With the Marcus Aldridge and
You
and
still
all
got the
these pieces.
76ers. You still got the Celtics. You got the
Exactly.
You got the
Stop it.
beast of
Exactly.
the East. You know, you
Man,
talking
real-
about Giannis, man. Like
It's Miami. It's Miami.
Chris
it's
Middleton.
Philly.
yo,
Philly.
man.
Stop sleeping on the Defensive Player of the Year, man.
Who?
Stop sleeping on the stop
Miles
sleeping on
Turner,
the
son.
stop
Miles
sleeping
Turner,
on the
son.
MVP of the last 2 years. And not only that,
Man.
they shitting on him
Cats-
this year.
Cats-
Shout out
Cats
to
notice
King
LeBron.
James.
No, I'm
Cats
talking
notice
about the
LeBron.
MVP of the last 2 years is
Yeah, the league been
Giannis
trying to size that up.
Antetokounmpo.
That looks real bad, right?
Yeah, I want to change. All right, change the subject. Go
Speaking
ahead.
speaking of MVPs, that's a
Haters,
good
y'all.
that's a
Y'all
good
some, y'all some real haters, B.
that's a
Nobody
good
been talking
transition.
about- hold on real quick.
That's a-
I've been hearing nobody talk about Giannis all season except you. Like nobody.
Yeah.
Look up the
True.
stats. Look up the stats right now. I dare you.
Fact-
Cats-
I dare you.
Cats
No,
out
no,
there,
Rex. No, I dare you. Look up the
Cats
stats
out
right
there,
now.
Darren.
Fax machine.
Cats I'm hearing talk
All
about,
right,
of
so
course.
can somebody look up the stats right now and tell me? You know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna tell you.
Fax. FAX.
I'm gonna
What's
tell
your
y'all
boy
right
Joel
now.
Embiid? I stay hearing about Embiid. Who else?
Miles Turner. You say hearing Miles Turner, defensive player of the year candidate.
Zach LaVine, even though the Bulls getting blown out. Zach
But
LaVine,
y'all
Bradley
talking
Beal.
about stats though. That's what I'm asking y'all to talk about stats, and y'all not doing
We're talking about names in the news.
Oh, you want to talk about stats?
No, you guys just asked me why nobody's talking about Giannis.
Because he ain't doing nothing.
Yo, all right, hold on, just 1 second. Just
Harden.
Can you give me one?
Stay hearing about Harden.
Yo, can you give me 1 second, bro? Giannis is averaging. Go ahead, Rex.
No, go ahead. I'm saying you just digging deeper. What you got to find?
No, I'm just trying to find the stats. I'm just trying to be right and exact. So, all right, let me tell you. Giannis right now is averaging 28.4 points a game, 11.4 rebounds, 6.3 assists. Are you guys fucking kidding me, bro? Like, what are you?
That's kind of low, right?
What?
Kind of low.
Westbrook's having a trip.
All right, hold on. Show me numbers. Show me numbers that's better. Show me numbers that's better than 28.4.
Pull up Embiid since you in there.
No, fuck off. I ain't trying to prove my point. I know my point. I rocked. I do this, nigga. I do this.
You do what? What, represent Milwaukee? We know that.
No, I'm saying 28.4. So say 28.5, 11.5, 6.5. Man, you niggas is bugging, man. What the fuck is wrong with y'all? What? And y'all trying to tell me this dude is not even considered for MVP? You motherfuckers.
Of course he's
considered for MVP. Hold on.
No, he's not considered, Tony. That's the whole thing.
Hold on, Tony. Aubrey, what's his numbers you said?
28.5 points per game. 11.5 rebounds per game. 6.3 assists per game.
Joel is at 30 points a game, 11.5 rebounds, and 3.3 assists. And
right,
keep in mind, he doesn't touch the ball unless he's given the ball. So he's not, you know what I'm saying?
He only gets the ball in the middle, though, you know?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So
but
his
I don't take
assists,
nothing away from him. He a beast. I don't take nothing away from that, brother.
So what about Joker? I guarantee Joker got better numbers.
Let's see. Hey, spit it.
Hold on.
All I'm saying is, why ain't this brother considered an MVP right now? The MVP
because he ain't leading his team like these other big dogs.
Yeah. Yo, what's
Joker's name again?
Yeah, what is wrong with this dude?
Oh, you said Joker?
Jokic.
So yeah, like right now, looking
Nikola Jokic.
We 2 games behind.
So hold on. Jokic is averaging 27, 11.1, and 8.5.
Right, exactly. So he's not in that conversation.
He's a center, and he's got.
What does that mean?
He's got 2-3 more assists than your man, and I know he's got a
better.
What
is the points per game?
Oh yeah, his points per game is 26.8, right?
26.8.
Right, so that's less than Giannis. All right, what's his rebounds?
11.1.
All right, so he's less than Giannis. What's his assists?
8.5.
All right, he got Giannis.
He's the number 1 ranked player in the NBA. Right
I was about to say he's the most efficient guy out there right now. So there's, I mean,
Giannis is number 2, but he's there.
Yeah, you know what? That's better coaching, though. That's better coaching. No, I'm saying in a good way. That's better coaching.
Joker's a better quality player. A better skilled player, I should say. Not quality, better skilled player.
He's the number 1 rated player in that.
Hands down.
I'm still having this conversation with you weirdos.
We ain't even got to
Giannis, man. Like,
we ain't even, because we stay pouring on him.
Yeah. And it's all Aubrey's fault. Like, Giannis, if you're listening, I just want you to know this is all Aubrey's fault.
We really rock with you.
Giannis listen every week, man.
I was gonna say, Aubrey, let's get Giannis on the line though for next week or the following.
Yeah, man.
Week.
Can he jump on a burner?
No, that's a fact. I'll call dude. I'll see what's happening.
That's what I'm saying. Let's put it in effect. Let's put a call and see if we can get Giannis on the line. Definitely, we need him.
You know what? Speaking of getting NBA players on the line, how are we talking about? I know we were talking about KD earlier. While we talking about getting cast on the line, what y'all think about this guy Michael Rapaport?
He said this guy.
Screenshots of. Yeah, man.
No, it's funny. You just said this guy.
I mean, man, he posted screenshots of DMs from KD, like.
He thought he
KD
was
was calling him a cocksucker and told him to suck his dick.
KD was using his own words on him.
Bro, KD was like, meet me at, he was like, where you at? Meet me out right here to catch this fade. Like,
And low key, KD ain't no tough. We all know KD a fake tough guy.
yeah, I mean,
I don't know. I don't know. Y'all know that.
No, I don't. I take that back. But you know what I'm saying? We know that KD like selling tickets on the gram. On the gram is what I'm saying.
Oh, gotcha.
But
I mean, but it's Michael Rapaport.
That's
like,
what I was saying. I was like, he punking him.
Yeah, I feel like KD would actually smack the shit out of Michael Rapaport like he said he would do, right? You know?
Of course he would.
All right. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I mean, like you said, Rex, you texted us the joint earlier from Barstool. Like, KD brought that up in the DMs, like that Barstool lawsuit that he just lost. And, bro, like, you sent us those links. Barstool's clowning the shit out of him just as hard as KD was.
Yeah. I would say Barstool going harder than KD was.
But, you know,
man, 100%. 100%.
Cats loved going in on him, you know, because, you know, Michael Rapaport and a buddy that liked talking shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And Rex and me were talking about this yesterday, Aubrey.
Let me get that spicy rigatoni.
Why every week Aubrey got food orders?
It's hilarious. Can I get a spicy rigatoni too?
Somebody get Aubrey
minus
a food
the spicy,
deal.
just the rigatoni.
Yo, let's get Young on the line for when his Grubhub connects.
Facts. Young, holler at us. We're going to hit you about this. Holler at Young. Actually, don't. Yo, go back to Michael Rapaport, man.
Dude got punked.
Yeah, he's a weird. I mean, man, you know what? I want to like that dude, man. Like, I want to trust his hip hop intuition. He's
been around. You know what I'm saying?
I don't man. Like,
yeah, he didn't have his hand in the culture for a minute. So you know what I'm saying?
So I try to rock with him, man. But then sometimes he just go a little too far off the edge, bro.
Like, a little poured up.
And then like low key, he be saying some shit like he
overstepping.
Yeah, like it almost feel like a little bit racist, bro. Like where he'll be like,
it ain't racist, but he push it.
Like look at these guys, and then he'll show black people in the spring break and compare to, you know,
like, what are you doing over here and show how the other cats party?
Yeah, so that shit, that should be some sucker shit right there, though.
Yeah, man, because like Rex and I were talking about this shit yesterday, and I mean, the whole thing with KD and him posting that shit, it was like intentional what he posted, right? Like, there's no telling like how he like if he pulled like specific like how he sequenced those screenshots and everything, right? So in context and all that shit, right? Like, all right. So I think that was sucker shit because like now people like he knew what was in those DMs and how like, you know, social media is gonna take it and run with it. So like he knew like people were gonna go at KD and be like, oh, why you gotta be saying dick sucker and cock sucker? Like you got something wrong with gay people? Like, you know, like so it all seemed like very.
He was kind of alley-oop, trying to throw an alley-oop.
Yeah, like it just seemed very calculated how he did that shit. And like you said, right? It's like, man, that man's and Aubrey, you said like he almost goes over the line sometimes. Like that dude is a like, yeah, you know, again, respect where respect's due. Like, you know, like you said, credit for what he's done, but he's basically known now for being kind of a damn troll with these annoying Instagram rants where, you know, like every time he posts a damn video talking mad shit, like I was telling Rex, like it's like he's speaking like he's right. Like it's like he's speaking, thinking he's the voice of like black culture. Yeah. Like the white voice in the black community or whatever.
Culture.
Like
not the culture.
Yeah.
You're not that, homie.
No, but that's how he speaks in all these rants.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? And it's
you ain't no community.
Yeah, it's embarrassing because like that's why he got picked up by Barstool was because of those crazy rants he was making. Like, you know, day after George Floyd was killed or something, he would get on there and be like, "What the fuck?" Da, 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 and just be like basically just like screaming and cussing and like yelling at white people. But it's like, okay, but who are you, bro?
Yeah,
like,
that shit's starting to get played out real quick. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, he gonna
all I can think of is shut the fuck up, Remy, every time he says that shit, bro.
Yeah, he gonna end up meeting some hands, and it ain't gonna be good.
That's what I'm saying, man. Because KD been apologizing for this shit, bro. Like he was like saying, like, you know, I shouldn't have taken it that far, talking about dude from Barstool Sports and everything. But now Remy doubling down, calling KD like quote tweeting KD and like calling him a pussy, like.
And see, what y'all may not remember, man. Like I used to listen to his podcast, and he had a brother on the podcast.
Who and talking
on the Mike Rapaport.
Okay,
one of his guys he grew up with, and then all of a sudden, dude disappeared. It wasn't
fell off him.
He fell off,
but
I know it was some beef, and he mentioned it a couple times, Rapaport, and it just made me feel like, okay, like dude either left because you crossed him, or you said something that was against his principles. You know what I'm saying, or vice versa.
Yeah.
And then I think it was the latter. So it just makes me feel like I think he's more about sensationalism, man.
That's 100% what it is.
Like I feel like what's the dude's name, man? That was on
it's
Taxi.
all for the gram, man.
Yeah,
it's all for the gram.
Remember that on Taxi? What was the name?
It's like shock jock mentality for him.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Basically. It's like Howard Stern on Instagram,
basically.
Like louder.
Or that cat Locker on Taxi. Remember
not
that
even
dude?
Howard Stern. I don't even want to compare him to Howard Stern. Like
but it's just trying to be loud.
He's just trying to be loud, man.
Basically,
and like, you know what? If I'm KD, Remy catching that higher learning Ice Cube fade and stomp out when I see him for that, because like after the fact that you trying to apologize, like, you know what I'm saying? Like after the fact that you trying to apologize to this kid, like, say like, maybe I shouldn't have took it that far. Like the fact that you didn't start talking tough, like calling him a pussy, like, and then come on, man, like. Come on, that's just whole shit. But the question I want to ask y'all too, like, because like when it popped off, like I thought the funny thing was like, it always like backfires on people that ain't in touch with like 100% in touch with the culture, like this dude, right? Like, so he did this, and then like Black Twitter went crazy, riding with KD, right? So like, because essentially it was like, why would you air this shit out? Like, so like, let me ask you this: as grown men, from what KD was saying, like, this is the way like him and Mike know each other. This is how they talk to each other. And then Mike was like, no, we don't know each other. You a pussy. Don't ever talk about my wife. All this shit. But it's a grown man. Period. Beefing with another grown ass man, like. Isn't Aaron social shit like this on social media whole shit? Like, obviously, again, right going back to what we said, like, Beto hit on the head, like, it's for the gram, right? It's all, and whoever said it's all sensationalism, yes, that's 100% it. So it fits into what he does.
Storyline, right? Yeah.
Yeah. But isn't it still whole shit as a man?
Yeah, man. Yeah. Because that's the whole thing. Yeah, I mean, if you got really a problem with me, just hit me direct. You know how to get in touch with me. You have your people get at me. You can figure that out.
You can't come back from that shit, bro. Like after if those people, if what KD is saying is true and they actually do know each other, and this is like this is some like bullshit, like, and he just blew the shit up because KD was basically saying like, oh, he's acting mad, like. Yeah, that's some fucked up shit because you put it out there
to make sure.
Come back.
Yeah, his best bet to be like, yo, we was shooting an episode, like some what's the name of the Larry Davis shit, like where it seems Curb real.
Enthusiasm.
We're doing the Curb Your Enthusiasm kind of piece, and that would be the best way to like, man, KD, holler at me, man, straight up. I got the ideas for you, man. That was all like a sitcom that y'all was doing, man. Straight up, that was easy. The Rex hit KD up, man.
Yeah, that shit. Yeah,
Rex hit KD up, man. I know you got the 4-1-1.
Play that Curb Your Enthusiasm theme music for 5 seconds.
Damn, hold on, that's a hard one. Let's talk about it.
I thought you was gonna have it queued up, man. But
no, man, I haven't.
Speaking of music, though, another thing we talk about, man, especially for like what we do. Y'all see, Barcelona held the first. I believe this is the first. Like from what they said, this is the first post-shutdown concert with 5,000 people at the concert in attendance. Right, so they had rapid COVID tests for everyone. You had to obviously pass to get a negative test to get in. On top of that, even if they had masks, they provided like more high quality masks, right? Yeah, and they enforced the mask rule, right? But we were talking about this yesterday. The crazy shit was they what they didn't have though was social distancing. Social distancing was not required. There it is.
Cut.
Man, somebody got to sample that joint, man.
Now with Larry David, that shit gonna be $4-5
2
million.
2 gazillion. Yeah.
Yeah, and if you sample that, you got to give us production credits on that. Now that we said that on there, trademark. No, but so people were deep in there. Like, I mean, y'all saw the pictures. We're looking at that link. Like, it looked like a regular concert, but just everyone had masks on. But it also looked like everyone was actually wearing their mask correctly, and they said they were enforcing that. But they said people, like, again, the social distancing wasn't enforced. So they said people were like hugging. Again, there was no distancing. It was a concert with 5,000 people in like a standing section, like on the
Open
floor.
air.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, and they said this is an experiment. That's what they were calling it.
Yeah.
To see if this works. Like, so.
And if it doesn't,
and then if it doesn't, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But now they saying, like, dude from Perry from Lollapalooza was saying they want to do Lollapalooza in some capacity in August. Like,
I saw that.
Maybe half capacity, full capacity. Yeah, but so I guess, like, what do y'all think about this? Like,
open the floodgates.
Yeah, like, I mean, does this work? Like, is this the new blueprint for concerts and live events, I guess, in general?
I guess somebody got to try something, right?
Man, I ain't going nowhere near nobody.
I'm not in a rush to head out there yet, especially in that number. I mean, there's probably some, like, I guess, something that you could probably organize, simpler, peace of mind. But I guess, I mean, if they kind of went through the quote unquote protocols, but 5,000 just seems like, I guess seems like
that's
a lot,
super irresponsible,
right?
man.
Yeah, I mean,
it's crazy because, again, what happens? Like we were talking about this earlier. What happens if
it didn't work?
Yeah, it's an experiment. What happens if the experiment backfires?
Goes
like,
bad.
Like, what happens if it fails? Like, what happens if somebody gets it and then everyone you got to then go back and get all the 5,000 people tested and then contact trace from there. Like,
are all 5,000 people quarantining for 2 weeks coming out of this or whatever?
That's what I'm saying. Like, so
But I mean, in hindsight, it could be worth it, right? Because
Yeah,
you might be able to sell some information to other venues, to Live Nation, like, hey,
this worked, this didn't work.
That's correct. But that's at the price of lives, and it's at the price of, what a lot of suckers would do to make money. But
somebody, like you said, somebody had to try it at some point, right? Like,
somebody got to do something.
Yeah, man. So, I mean, I guess we'll see.
What you thinking?
I'm gonna take a hard pass while all this is going on. So no fire festival for me anytime soon.
Man, shout out Ja Rule.
You'll just see what Michael Rapaport is saying about it, right?
This motherfucker shouted out Ja Rule.
Oh yeah,
that's Aubrey's favorite rapper, man.
I take that back. Let's take that shout out Ja Rule back. Holla, everybody get ready.
Murder.
No.
That's Aubrey's favorite rapper, man.
He was until about 2006.
Man, y'all get the hell out of here.
Aubrey got it's murder tattooed on his neck.
Ja Rule on one and Lil Nas X on the other.
Ooh.
That's what you got, Aubrey?
Nah, y'all know who my favorite rapper is, man. Sean.
I know we know you got Sean P on your chest, but we know we're trying to ask, like, if it's Lil Nas X on your left arm or right arm, or
then if you know P and man, come on, man, that shit don't even fit nowhere on me, man. Y'all motherfuckers bugging, man. I'm a man's man.
P. Shout out P, not Ja Rule. We take that Ja Rule shout out.
I'll play that.
Rachel Powers, you got some Sean P real quick. We could drop in.
There you go.
That's tough.
Yeah. Shout out P. Okay, do that. Yo, so but Pedro was just talking about Lil Nas X, so so this dude, Lil Nas X, obviously been trending this week for two reasons. So he teamed up with the streetwear brand. That's I think the bigger story that everybody been talking about. Is that how it's pronounced? MSCHF?
MSCHF.
Yeah, okay, MSCHF. To customize 666 pairs of these Air Max joints, these Air Max 97 joints, and they're dubbing them as Satan shoes. And like each of them have a pentagram on them and like a Bible verse about Satan's fall from hell. And apparently there's a drop of human blood in each of them or some shit, which I don't know. We gonna need a DNA test on that to believe that. But but long story short, this is apparently part, not apparently. This is part of the promo for his new single called Montero or something. And so, like, apparently, in the video for the single, he's doing all kinds of wild shit, like going to hell and like giving the devil a lap dance and all types of wild shit. So, like, the internet then went nuts and started screaming like on this whole shit, right? Like on Nike for allowing their brand to be involved in some satanic, quote unquote, satanic shit. On Lil Nas X for being a quote unquote role model to the kids from Old Town Road, I guess. Like, I don't know where that came from. But, and then doing shit like this. Like, Joyner Lucas said something about that to that effect. Like, and I was like, what the fuck are you talking about, bro? But anyway, Lil Nas X responded to this whole shit, right? And he's basically said the whole video, the shoots, etc., is his response to people saying, like, when he came out, like, and said he was gay, whatever, in the height of the Old Town Road fame or whatever, that he was going to hell because he's gay, right? So his thing is, people historically have said that about, gay people and several other different people of different ethnicities, sexual orientations, whatever, they're going to hell, right? Like, so you've heard that before, right? So, like, I guess the question is, like,
that shit sounds like strategy, bro.
Yeah, since it's symbolic of all that, going right, what Rex said just there, is it, strategically, is this shit like more genius, creative messaging, like, from a message perspective, like, versus trolling, like what people are saying in controversy, or what do y'all think? Like,
all right, so coming from that school, man, like what I don't respect, man, is that at some point, man, the art form was lost, right? Yeah. And now marketing becomes the tool. Like, hey, what can I do? Like the tool, and I don't want to keep talking about our days and back in the day and all that, but
it's important.
It's important, man. It's important. If you're gonna talk about punk music, you got to talk about what's a black band from Detroit? The first
Fishbone.
No, before Fishbone, the black band.
Bad Brain.
Nah. It's the Cat Cells from Detroit. The first black punk band. It was called like Hell or some shit. Like, it's a whole documentary. I'm gonna get back to it. Though. Hold on. But the point is, man, you have to figure out. They call death. So if y'all listening, yeah, death. Death. Right? That was the first black punk band officially. You have to go back and like study the science between, like what they was doing, man. You can't go back and not study the Sex Pistols. You can't go back and not study Chuck Berry. You cannot go back and not study the Furious Five and Melly Mel and his stage presence. These cats right now, man, like part of me feels like it's becoming a commercial, and not even becoming, because it's been. We all know that, right? Like, but they taking it to a disrespectful level, man. Because when you're talking about selling shoes and I got like a drop of blood in it, man, like you're doing too much, man. Like, let your music speak for itself and then build a concept out of what your music means to people. Not like try to make people feel your idea and then build the music back. You know what I mean? Like that's man, they doing this shit backwards, man. This is about our culture, man. Like, this is about our culture, man. We have to be more protective, man. We got to start having conversations behind the scenes with cats and letting them understand, like, what you got to build from. You got to know the pathway before you make your own path, man. You got to know the original path.
But is he like? I 100,000% here and agree with what you're saying, but in this specific situation, I like you said, like, you know, again, not trying to be old heads and talking about our era, but we go and talk that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like that's us. So like that is our era. So I don't necessarily consider this hip hop. Like you know what I'm saying? So like I
This
don't
is
think
music. It's pop music.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, the music isn't hip hop. So like yeah, it's pop or country or whatever or electronic.
I mean, not saying it's not country. It's pop music. You know what I mean?
But it's not hip hop. So to me, this isn't like this isn't.
Yo, don't he got a
MC
song
of
with
the year.
Nas? Don't he got a song with Nas?
I don't think so. Maybe I don't know.
Lil
I'm gonna
Nas
say
X? He has a song.
remix.
He got a remix with Nas, man.
Yeah. I think it's
Is that like a real remix or a?
No, it's
Did you get that
official.
off
I believe
LimeWire?
it's official, man. Don't quote me.
Got that off LimeWire?
Nah. Nah, but he has a
funny.
song with Nas. And if Nas is doing it may have been for the bag or whatever, but somebody gotta like get into dude's ear, man. Like, you know, to me, like
Rodeo. It's Lil Nas X Rodeo featuring Nas.
yeah, there we go. See, there go the science right
Yeah.
there. But if you
No,
think
but
that's
he's
fine.
basically what this kid is basically saying is I'm doing this because like for all the black queer kids is what he specifically said, but I guess for like the gay kids in general that he's basically saying like for everybody that they told you were going to hell, this is our basically like fuck you essentially like okay.
My creative response to it.
so. The difference. I'm gonna tell you the difference, Tony B. The difference.
But that's what he's saying.
I know. But I'm saying, but what anybody schooled him to is that LGBTQ.
Yeah.
Right. That is a. It's a lifestyle. It's not a choice. I don't believe that. I feel like if you were born that way, then that's what you are. But when it comes
100%.
to music,
Right. Yeah.
No, 100%.
Yeah.
But when it comes to music, y'all don't own no genre of music. Y'all follow culture, meaning black, white, Asian, Latina, whatever culture. Y'all follow that and then y'all flip it. So if you're going to flip hip hop and it's a queer or gay, lesbian, transgender movement, then you got to respect the architects of that movement. Like you got to do it the right way, bro.
Like, I don't think he's trying to really do hip hop. Like,
yo, he is doing hip hop, man.
His first single was country,
dude. No, he is not country. That was
It wasn't country. It's definitely not country.
That was a ploy, man.
That's like saying Drake is a singer. Definitely not comparing him to Drake any means.
No, but I'm just saying, like that whole single, the fight for it was to get it on the country chart. So like,
no, because it was disrespected. That's him. See, you know what, Tony B? Hold on. That's what they don't tell you. They tried to put it in country, and it should.
No, they wouldn't.
No, I'm saying they tried to put it in country, right?
We tried to put it in country.
Tony B, you ain't hearing what I'm saying, bro. They tried to put that music in the country category, but the spirit of what they did of trying to break through is hip hop. They did that because we always fight against what motherfuckers is like trying to tell us what we can't do.
Facts.
So that was the part of hip hop that made Old Town Road a big ass hit because it was hip hop in the sense of like, yo, fuck y'all, we gonna do this. The same thing with punk music, right? Same thing with house music, whatever you want to look at. So that was our genesis in hip hop. But then when you go totally to the right or left, right, whatever way you want to look at it, and now you're saying, okay, now I'm doing country, now I'm queer, now I'm promoting this, now I'm promoting some blood and some tennis shoes. Now you got fucked up, G. You know what I mean? You got fucked up. Yeah, if you're gonna do that, man, get the fuck out of hip hop, bro.
Okay, but let me also put this out there and play that for lack of this sounds terrible. For lack of a better fucking term, devil's advocate. This sneaker company though, or not the sneaker company, the company that copped the Nikes and they're rebranding them. MSCHF. You know what they did last year? I think it was. They literally just did these exact same shoes, except they were Jesus shoes. So, like, literally the exact same concept. I mean, except they were white instead of black and red. They were like white and blue. They had holy water in them instead of blood. So again, the shit is probably
this is all
just
this is all
water.
promotion, bro, and it's genius promotion.
That's kind of what I was not kind of. That's exactly what I was saying.
Promotion.
And no disrespect to anyone on the
25 million views in like the first day.
It's Holy Week. It's Holy Week. You know what I mean?
Right now. Yeah,
so you got 25 milli on that video. So I mean, so I think going back to saying that it is creativity in a sense, right? You know what I mean? And obviously, I'm not a creative.
I think it's very smart,
but I think it's strategically he leveraged. I mean, and I don't mean to compare him to 50 because it's not that, but I mean, but he parlayed it. I guess
it is
right.
The same kind of situation, but. Yo, what's that quote, man? It's one of the best quotes I ever heard. Like, never, what is it? Take an apology over, like, don't
asking for forgiveness.
What is it? Yeah, what is it, Rex?
Ask forgiveness later versus asking for permission or something like that or whatever. It's like,
what is it?
Ask for forgiveness. Better for ask for forgiveness than ask for permission.
There you go. There you go. That's what it is right there.
Yeah,
and they taking advantage of that, and we should all take advantage of that.
You know what? Going back to what Rex said, like strategically speaking, I don't know what his team did, but Rex, we do actually know some people that work on his label. You know what I'm saying? Like that I know we're involved in the rollout for this, so shout out to them. But I think the other smart thing was there was already like responses planned too, like and maybe they weren't planned, but the way they rolled out, they looked polished. Like his response was like putting out this like message that he like about the song was about him to himself at 14 when people were telling him this shit. Like
you got this whole strategic story behind this thing, right?
It, like you said, Rex, like the strategy started just really connecting where it got to the point where you couldn't really get mad at him. You know what I'm saying? And then which brings me to,
man, all that dude got to do, man. If you're gonna be in this hip hop shit, make it clear, man. Draw the line, man. If you're gonna be a pop music, musician, draw the line.
I think this video made it very clear you're in pop music and not in hip hop.
Yo, I'm just saying, don't dab into this hip hop shit until you can represent it the right way. That's for everybody.
So
facts.
So if it was like, I guess not if it was like, but again, I just am throwing some comparisons, not because of the level, but just kind of from a shock value, for lack of a better word. So would the rock community be salty at Marilyn Manson when he came out doing that? And I'm not even drawing a stance. I'm just I'm creating a conversation or creating a dialogue.
Yeah, I think that's a great conversation.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
I think you know what? I don't think so, Rex. You know why? Demonic. Because you had Twisted Sister, you had all these bands that were already kind of going in that area. He was just a manifestation of that.
So then it's groundbreaking.
White Zombie, 9 Inch Nails came from all that.
Yeah. I mean, you can.
Is this cat groundbreaking? I don't. Again,
no. You know who was groundbreaking? What was the brother's name? They said sold his soul to the devil.
Which one is
Ozzy Osbourne?
No. Way before that, bro. I'm talking about the rap. No, the cat that was with James Brown.
George Clinton.
Man, there's a documentary about him. Oh shit!
Hold on, let me see. So
man, it's a very
it goes back. It goes back to the early 20s. Robert Johnson. Born in 1911 in Hazelhurst, Mississippi.
It's crazy.
And he died in 1938, age 27, in Greenwood, Mississippi. But the whole idea was that...
How old was he?
27. But what they said, that's that number too, right? That shit keep coming.
Yeah. All those cats at that number.
Yeah. And you know what it was is that he sold his soul to the devil to become the best guitar player that ever lived. Yep. And by some, he still is to this day the best guitar player to ever live.
Like the greatest guitar players in the world say he's
the
greatest guitar player that ever lived.
And nobody ever seen him, bro. Right. Nobody in our generation, or not our generation, even living.
That's why you got to check out that documentary. I think it's on
that documentary is dope.
Yeah.
So I think it's that kind of thing, man. Like, if you're gonna go there, man, go there. But
I mean, but bro, that's what I'm saying, man. Like my second question is like, coming from our generation, we remember like that kind of like, I guess for lack of a better term, horrorcore hip hop and a rock and a metal. Like Rex was just talking about Marilyn Manson and all that shit, right? Like even for us from a hip hop perspective, right? Like Bone Thugs and Harmony, bro. Like the whole
Right.
shit was about Ouija boards and the
Yeah.
Like,
I ain't
That's
listen to
like,
that devil music. Yeah, I listen to that.
I mean, I was tuned in.
Bone was
in.
one of the biggest, bro, dude. After Crossroads, Bone was one of the biggest. Not even before that, when East 99 came out, they were one of the biggest. They were one of the most popular hip hop groups.
What was you about to say, Beto?
Remember Gravediggers?
Yeah,
Gravediggers.
shit though. I like that.
I
mean, I did like that.
But why? I mean,
With the RZA?
because I guess because it wasn't about being gay or about homosexuality, but it was about theoretically it was about demonic or devilish related activities.
Bro, people used to Rex.
Well, I'm gonna say differently, man.
No, hold on. No, right?
People used to listen to Brother Lin Chung, bro. When he was talking about fucking killing babies out of the womb and shit. Like,
so what I think those albums were about, what I'll speak to, specifically was Gravediggers. I'll speak to DMX's Hell's, what is it? Hell is Hot and something dark.
It's dark and Hell's Hot.
Yeah. So some of those albums like that, man, scared black people for sure, especially in my generation, right? It was very different.
You already said his generation.
X had a song called Damien on that joint where he was literally him talking
Dude,
to
that's what I'm trying to tell you, man. Like, yo, my generation was spooked out because when you play the Prince record backwards, that shit would be like, yup, yip, yip, whoop, whoop.
Yeah.
Like people, and they'd be like, God is coming backwards.
They used to say that about Beatles record, old and rock records.
That's a fact. So I think like when we talk about those albums of that era, it was more of a concept. It wasn't a marketing ploy. Like Prince never like promoted his album going backwards. Right, so you can hear a message. DMX never promoted Damien. And as a matter of fact, he just spoke that shit down the other day on Drink Champs. And he was like, yo, like, man, I was in a dark time at that point. I'm not there no more. So, I mean, they can be in that area, but right now they're being used as a ploy to sell records and as rollouts. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not a concept. That shit, Bone Thugs was a concept. You know what I mean? That wasn't necessarily a lifestyle, man.
Nah, that shit looked like it was a lifestyle, man.
Nah, it was just some wild young motherfuckers kicking it, man.
I think it's probably a lifestyle, man.
Yeah.
Nah, they was some wild young cats, man, just doing it, man. Nah, them cats is wild. You think they was sitting there worshiping the devil, man? Come on.
I don't know. Why you talking about that shit on there? Like, I mean, even like it wasn't even just them. Like people like
3-6 Mafia.
Again, 3-6 Mafia, even D12, like, even though, again, like, it's shock value, like you said, the first fucking album was called Devil's Night.
Dude,
like,
I think it's concepts. I think those dudes are thinking conceptually.
Not
marketing.
Isn't that what Lil Nas X is doing?
Yeah, it's exactly the same
No, what Lil
shit.
Nas X is doing is a marketing ploy.
So I don't want to sound stupid. So what's the difference then?
Like,
what's the difference?
Yeah.
I can't.
One is because you like it, and the other, what's the difference? And I said, I apologize for the ignorance, but what's the difference? One is because you like it.
A concept is that if I'm a writer, let's say I'm a writer, right? I'm Aubrey Walker, right? I'm a write, and you know me for writing my life stories and things that I know. If I take on a different persona, right? Let's say the persona is, John Edwards, right? Or whoever it is. Or whoever it is, no matter what the name is.
John Edwards.
But I take on, I don't even know who the fuck John Edwards is, but we take on that persona.
Several of them.
I'm about to put your name in my phone.
But then if you do that, right, it gives you the flexibility to expand your creative, because I don't have to live in the world that I've always lived in and what you know me in. Yeah, it's just like it's a concept. It's a concept. Now hold on, Tony B. And then the marketing ploy is like, hey, we got to sell albums. You know, everything ain't sweet. We didn't put a lot of money into you. What are we gonna do to shock the fans? All right, I'm gonna give you one song that's just gonna kill it or just go crazy. It's not a concept, man. It's a need to fulfill what the record label thinks that you have to fulfill. You got to sell those albums again. You already sold 10 million. Yo, we need you to sell at least 8, 7. So what's the ploy? Oh, we put blood in some shoes. What, nigga? That's what that is. It's a total different animal.
I can see that, but I can see the other side of it too, right? Like
I can see him sitting there just being like, you know what, I'm gonna make some ill shit. And I can see it going both ways though, but that's a good three sides of the story. But that's
because Aubrey, you got to think like again, like now that we know that this isn't MSCHF's first run at this shoe,
real quick,
right?
Real quick though, Tony,
who is MSCHF?
The collab partner,
the shoe company, the streetwear company that Nike's suing, right? So
real quick before you jump all the way down there, we'll come right back to that. But to Aubrey was saying, there is a goal. Obviously, there is a goal to sell records. Whether it's, I mean, not saying whether it's Lil Nas X or the label, there's definite that needs to be met. So with that being said, you know, obviously even the selling, I mean, it means more money for Buddy. So I mean, he'd be not saying
Rex, you know. Like I know, there's no money in selling records.
I mean, there's awareness.
There's no money, man. Like,
I mean, he's got like 25 million views, so there's money. I mean, that's not necessarily
through Instagram, and you know
YouTube
whatever it is.
And video, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, I'm sorry, not Instagram, YouTube. You're right. Yeah. So I think you get that money, but that's not the same kind of money that Cats was making.
No, it's not.
When you had a point, how do you get a point now in a digital market? Oh, you know what? I need 12 points on this album. You think he's getting 12 points on the album right now?
No, but he's looking at it like, yo, I got however that translates. He's like, I got 25 million spin. For lack of a better word, it is spins. It is spins. It's digital spins on whatever platform that they Cats tuned in on it. Right? You know what I mean? The video, we're talking about it. We've been talking about it for 20 minutes and not saying like that, but I mean.
I think we're talking about the theory, right? The theory of do you believe in what you're selling or are you selling it because it's a ploy? And I'm saying Lil Nas X is selling it because it's a ploy.
Yeah, but isn't it entertainment? He's not saying this is my doctor.
No, he's not doing nothing wrong, bro. He ain't doing nothing wrong.
No, not at all. Not at all.
But I'm saying if you gonna keep doing this, get the fuck out of hip hop. Get the fuck out of hip hop. Because that shit is some sucker shit. Because our shit is the story of the streets, right? Our shit is the story of the people that had to struggle. That's what our story is. What is this story now?
Is Lil Nas X billing himself as the next lyricist again?
I'm asking
innocent
he got some responsibility though.
He does. I mean, but then he said he's like, shit, I fucked your father or whoever. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's what did you just say, bro?
Tony, am I lying? That's what the little buddy said that to Luca Joyner, one of them cats or one of them other rap cats. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like somebody he shit on him. I forget what he said, man.
He said somebody was like, yo,
my guys, this shit got 60 million views. And it was released 5 days ago.
The Lil Nas X shit?
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. I said 25
million, homies. It was 25 like in a fucking first day, G. Like,
bro, and I still ain't seen it. I haven't seen it.
I haven't either. I haven't tuned in. I literally just pulled it up to see how many views.
That PR machine is a monster. Yeah.
It's not even PR. That's
definitely PR, bro.
No, bro, that's free.
No, it's not free. No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Aubrey's right. Aubrey's right. This was definitely Rex. This goes back to what we were saying. This was a very calculated rollout and decision, right? Like this wasn't this wasn't just a, you know what? I feel like doing this. Like obviously the video was very high production. There was a lot of money put into that video, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Homeboy ain't got that money yet. Not yet.
Yeah, he does. Off the first year, he does.
Not yet. Yeah, not yet.
No, bro, he had like a gazillion.
I know he does. Trust me, Rex.
Rex, you know what? I know
he does, but he ain't got that.
I think I know somebody we need to bring on the burner because they can probably give us a little insight into this video and this whole rollout and everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I think again, going back to what you were saying, it was very, very strategic, man. This was all well planned. So going back to what Aubrey said, you're right. It was funded. The idea was, I think what happened was Lil Nas X and his people came to them and said, "This is what we want to do," and they said, "Let's do it." And they put the money behind it and the machine behind it and ran it.
That's
what
a
I think
fact.
happened.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
It's the same kind of machine behind Tekashi. You know what I'm saying? Like,
or it's Tekashi that's out there. I think that some of them niggas be out there freestyling.
That was different. Tekashi
what I mean by Tekashi is that he sold a ton of albums, right? A ton of, not even sold. He got a ton of streams, right?
Spins, downloads,
spins, whatever you want to call it. Just like Lil Nas X. And just as that Corona shit, motherfuckers couldn't tour. So that money wasn't coming in. And you know, if you making money from a label trying to get your points, that shit may take a year to 2 years, right? So
no, but I think that
what are you living off of after that, bro?
But Aubrey, though, I think the difference is, I hear what you're saying, but I think the difference is Tekashi didn't have enough. Maybe I'm wrong. Correct me if I am, or we'll fact check this. But
was he signed?
Tekashi didn't have a number one.
No,
single
what was great about Tekashi? He was signed to
broke like One Sweet Day with Boyz II Men and Mariah Carey. Like that's a crazy record to break, to have a number one single on a Hot 100.
My bad.
That, man. Like that's crazy.
I think
Tekashi didn't have number one single. Gucci Gang.
I don't think it was about having a number one single, man.
No, the views and everything you're talking about. Yeah, the streams and all that. Like, made the song go, the TikToks and all that shit. Like, I hear what you're saying, but I'm just saying, like, this cat's joint went number one. Like, it went all the way commercial.
Yeah, I'm looking up who was. So Tekashi was signed to this cat named Lucien Grange, and supposedly
that's the head of Universal, bro.
Yeah, that we shouldn't even be probably talking about,
or his
on this podcast, because he'll shut our shit down. But who gives a fuck?
Tony B sound like he got a situation.
But I'm saying, like, there's a machine behind some of these cats, man.
Yeah, and it's all.
That's what Tekashi got. That's what fucking Lil Nas. There's a machine. That's what Cardi B got. They struggling right now, but she got a machine behind her. Who else got a machine behind them?
I mean, they all do, honestly.
No, they don't. Beto. You think everybody got a machine?
Megan Thee Stallion got a machine.
That's a fact.
Oh yeah.
I mean, if you on Rockefeller, or not Rockefeller, Rock Nation, you got a machine behind you.
Yeah. Some of them do. Yeah, you know what? No,
but you got the
the
right machine behind you versus the other machine behind you. I think, and shout out to Steve Stout and United Masters. They just got $50 million from Apple.
From Apple. Yeah, that's what's happening.
Yeah. What up?
Most of that should go to what's his brother's name? Toby and Wigway. Most of that should go there. You know, that dude. Shout out to Toby. That dude lit the industry up like nobody's goddamn business, man. God damn. Yo, hold on.
He a credit.
Yo, so if I had to give an award, I'm going off track a little bit, guys, but if I had to give an award for like the dopest 3 artists of the last maybe 5 to 10 years, Toby and Wigway.
Okay. 100%.
Griselda.
Yep. Package.
And then Package. And then I will say maybe I want to say her. But I also like that other young lady. I may go her. I may go. Oh no!
I feel like you got to put her.
It may be Anderson .Paak, bro. It might be Anderson .Paak.
Yeah. I would have to do that.
I'll go Anderson .Paak. I'll go Anderson.
Can we put them as a class? Like if we flopping them out, because I don't want to flop either of them out, man. I think they both of them have very much contributed to the culture. And shout out to the Filipinos, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. Who I said, Rex? I said
Anderson
.Paak, Griselda as a unit.
Those are Jackie's people, by the way.
Who? Griselda?
No,
Anderson .Paak. That's what's happening.
Or no, not Anderson .Paak. Sorry, her.
Oh, her. So it was. Yeah, I'm gonna go Griselda, Anderson .Paak, and then damn, who was the first one, guys?
You got to put Anderson .Paak up in there, man.
You already said that.
No, I had three already.
I'm just thinking back. To Aubrey's list. You're right.
Man.
Griselda, Anderson .Paak. Who'd you say first?
That's terrible. Let's say
Who'd you say first?
Anderson .Paak, Griselda.
You said Chino XL.
That nigga said Chino XL.
Damn,
you don't remember what it was, Beto?
Nah.
Man, y'all some suckers, man. Whatever it was, that's my list,
bro.
Man, I had the list, man. Y'all took me off and y'all started talking about a bunch of gang and shit, so I ain't know.
Oh, we were talking about what's his name for two guys that just blew up the industry. Were just a little
Griselda, who?
No. About them being so super creative, you know.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what the hell Beto talking about.
Yo, anyway, like going back to what this No, I felt like I knew what he was talking about, but then I was like, man, I don't know what he's talking about. What were you talking about, Beto? What group were we talking about?
Y'all are there.
He going back listening. Trust me.
No, I'm not.
Oh,
I can't.
Shit.
Yo, talk about our era though, man. Talk about our era real quick though, man. Let me flip that. Let me flip that back on you, man. What do you think the craziest shit, Aubrey? You were talking about this earlier, man. We're talking about like all this like music we were listening to back then, right? Like, and all these people are wilding out now, like, and talking about like, I can't believe this shit is on the internet and on MTV, and it's just weird to me that, you know, a lot of what we're seeing is like the people that are saying this are people from our generation that were like, you know, grinding at parties and shit, roller skating ring, wherever, like, you know, dances, wherever the hell it was, like grinding on the dance floor at like 13. And they're like, yo, man, I don't really appreciate what's going on with like this culture right now. Da, da, da. What y'all think? Like, what y'all think about that? Like the fact that like it's like people from our culture, or not our culture, from our era, that are kind of leading this whole like culture war, if you will. You know what I'm saying? Like, when it comes to the music and everything, right? Like,
man, cats just started talking shit, hating. You know, he sounded like your father's father or whoever. It's like, why you you know what I mean? So it's, yeah. I mean, if it ain't you, it ain't you. You know.
Yo, what was the question, man? In the short form, I tuned out.
Like, I'm saying, like, we was listening to wild ass shit when we was growing up, right? Yeah. Like, and we was doing wild ass shit at a young age, and now we're looking like people from that generation are looking back and saying, like, not looking back, are judging this generation and saying, like, oh, yeah, man, shit has gone to hell. Where the world's like,
it's supposed to go to hell.
Obama, Biden, da, da, da,
nah, every generation is supposed to go to hell.
But that's what I'm saying. Where is that generation gap, bro? Like, how can we
dude, the gap?
That shit doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, we have to accept the gap,
we become the generation that we were complaining about. Is that?
That's exactly right, man. We have to accept the gaps. That's what it is, man. Like that's the changing of the guards, man. The changing of the guards is never comfortable, bro.
It's uncomfortable. Ooh, I was gonna say the same thing.
You know what I'm saying? Write that down. Mark that.
Do you want to? Do you want to relinquish? Do you want to relinquish the keys, or you know what I'm saying? How are you going to keep how long are you going to keep forcing that fight?
It's never comfortable.
We gonna put that quote in an NFT and sell that on
on the Grinnell.
That's why they have different TV stations, man. Right? So
Turn that shit off.
True.
yeah,
Turn off
because
the
you
bullshit.
can watch what the hell you want to watch, man. You know what I mean? Like I may sit here and watch old time
Milwaukee
TV.
Bucks.
Nah, with Fred Sanford and Good Time. I like that shit. But
So you don't think you don't think it's hypocritical?
God damn. Huh?
Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Tony B.
No, I was just gonna say, like, I knew where you were going with the Sanford and Son, but don't you think it's hypocritical at some point, or at least like this generation could tell us we're being hypocritical by saying,
Nah, you just don't do it. Check yourself.
okay,
I mean,
Go
like
ahead, keep
the whole science behind it, man. I got to sit down and watch some cartoons I ain't never seen. I got to sit down and watch TV that I've never seen. Like you got to be able to soak that shit up, man. You
It's like
can't
being an
be
angry old man.
Yeah, you can't just sit back and like expect people to watch fucking Sanford and Son, bro. That's my shit. But if you're gonna watch my shit, I'm gonna watch your shit, then I'm gonna watch your shit, and I'm gonna watch your shit. You know what I mean? Like
Tap in.
you gotta tap in, man. Like you can't be so closed minded to think that your shit is the only right way. And that's what our generations did before us, but they didn't have the internet either. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So
Okay.
like they just tapped into the fact of like, hey, this is Gunsmoke, boy. You gonna watch Gunsmoke? Sit down, sit your ass down, and watch Gunsmoke. And now
You don't gotta like it, you know.
you ain't gotta like it,
You ain't gotta like,
but you gonna sit your ass down and watch Gunsmoke.
yeah.
Don't say nothing.
you gonna watch this shit, yeah.
Yeah,
Just
man.
be aware.
That's a fact, man. So that's what I think it is, Tony B.
Okay. Yeah. So, like, talking about our era real quick, you know, back when we were coming up, let me flip that on you, know. What was the wildest thinking about all these, like, you know, times we were just talking about, you know, like, what was the wildest party you ever threw back in the day, Aubrey?
Wildest party?
Yeah.
Oh man, I would get in mad trouble for saying some shit about that, man. Yeah, man.
I mean, give us a PG 13
PG. Damn,
version.
that's a great question, Tony B. All right, so I had
Because me and Rex were talking about this, and I think this would be
that's a great
very interesting.
that's a great conversation, man. So I used to do these things called high heels and barbecue sauce.
I remember you had the merch.
Yeah.
See, this is leading into what we were just talking about, right? The
Yeah.
whole, like,
Yeah, I had these
how them
joints.
parties were
Yeah.
back then. Okay,
This
go
was-
ahead.
I was a young boy. This is, 10, 12 years ago. So I would have these parties and I would invite all the black urban agencies in Chicago to meet at my crib. So we would meet at my crib. I would barbecue, go get like a half slab of beef, literally go buy like 20 pounds of chicken and then cook that shit on my balcony on 15th and State. Then I would have these parties. So we would go somewhere, go kick it like at an agency event, right? And I'm like, yo, I'm having this high heels barbecue sauce. Y'all come through, man. We gonna kick it. Woo, woo, woo. Man, like in this apartment, that was probably Tony B, like half the size of your apartment. Dude, it would probably be literally, I'm not bullshitting, bro. It'd probably be like 250 people. It would be out of control.
Like I just got a small apartment.
No, I'm just saying, like, because I'm,
I'm just joking. Go on.
yeah. So I'm saying, like, if I had, I may have been lucky to have 800 square feet, 1,000 square feet, and it'd be like 200 people in that motherfucker, Joe. Everybody eating, everybody smoking, everybody from different agencies chopping it up, building. Like you wouldn't imagine who was in that place, man. I ain't gonna mention names, but you wouldn't imagine, man. Motherfuckers going downstairs, throwing up in the elevator. It was wild, man. I found underwear in my toilet stool. Niggas was fucking in the motherfucker, man. It was wild, bro.
Rockstar lifestyle might not make it.
Yeah, that's when I was a young boy, but I'd kill a motherfucker now for fucking in my bathroom.
What would you say was your age range at this time?
Good to know.
Aubrey, what was that? What was the age range you would say?
Man, I was at Carol Williams, so that had to be like that was probably like 2000.
1954.
Before shit was in color. He said when he used to intern on Mad Men.
He was a black guy on Mad Men.
I can't be mad at
Like, I knew I saw you in that meeting back then, smoking in Pall Malls.
He's stupid as hell. Yeah.
Hey guys, we got a new guy for the Newport.
We got the new guy for the Newports. He's
Pitching
gonna
for
be the
Pan Am.
copywriter, guys.
Nah, this is probably like 2010, 2009. You know
Oh,
what
we
I'm
need to
saying?
spoof that.
Mad Men, holler at us if you coming back out.
You
We
gotta
got we got Aubrey, either new Don Draper.
The new
Ob Draper.
Donnell Draper,
Young Ob Draper.
Ob Drizzle.
All right, the joke is over. You gotta relax. But it was very funny though. I'm not gonna front. It was very funny.
I know
It was a good joke. It was a good joke. I mean,
So yeah, man. Anyway, it was about 2007, 2008, somewhere around there. Yeah. But yeah, man, it was good, man. It was a good time, man. Yeah.
all right. I mean, that sounds crazy. That's all right. Right. So let me ask you too, man. Thinking back, like real quick. We were talking about Nipsey, R.I.P. Nipsey, great. But thinking back to South by Southwest, even like we had to join a Nipsey when we had that basically like a house party.
Yeah.
You know, for like a whole week, and all the wild ass parties that we threw. And hell, I guess it don't really even matter, man. I mean, shit. If we really think about it, even back at Aubrey's and Marie's baby shower, we were kind of lit too. So I guess it don't really matter where we at. But Rex, what's the wildest party you threw?
Man, so I'd probably say maybe 2. Not even wild, but we started having parties kind of early. I think. Okay. Our thing in high school, you know, I had the, you know, kind of the mature face with the beard and all that kind of stuff. But we were able to access these kind of IDs. So we used to basically buy cases of 40 ounces, and we would bring them to the party. So we were selling, you know, we were basically selling liquor. I guess.
Right?
No, well, you know what? We were a little more. We were premium, so we had the MGD. You know what
MGD,
I mean?
Okay.
And then we had that was like
Mickey's?
kickoff. We had the Mickeys, and then that was also like the kickoff. What was that? Like the Red Dog and all that shit kind of was coming around.
Mad Dog. Was it Red Dog? Mad Dog.
Yeah,
Red Dog.
Red Dog.
The Red Dog just kind of came out and some other shit like that. So we, you know, I mean, basically, and then
No Zima?
No, well, I take that back. We did throw it, you know, because there's always a little bit of change left. So, you know, we'd collect up the money, and then there was always at least a 12-pack of 2 6-packs of the Zima in there.
Yo, Zima was a rush.
Zima used to get motherfuckers fucked up.
Bro, we used to then, when we got hip to game, we used to start driving to, we used to drive up to Fullerton and Clark, damn near Tony, be like where we used to live at. And, I'm drawing a blank. I think it was like Crown Liquors, but literally, when we found out you could get Heineken and shit like that in kegs, so we started driving to the north side.
It's over,
bro. It was done, bro. We were killing it, so we upped the ante from the 40s, and we started getting the import kegs. So
the import charge on the kegs or the cup.
We was hitting 20 a cup. You know what I mean? On dead ass serious. So we were pulling up, me and my man Trent, shout out Trent, you know what I mean? And a couple other cats that we would literally drive up to the north side, get the kegs, and come back out west. So that was that. And then when I was interning, actually I was back at shout out my man's Sherman, the guys there. But when I was back interning, just we had, I guess it was because we were doing house parties, like I said, through high school, and then went away for 1 year of college, came back, whatever, and we was doing some other little small things. And we linked up with these cats over there at 500 West Cermak. Beto, you definitely, I mean, we all know where it's at, but Beto, you probably remember back then the parties, you know, back in the day over there. So it was.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So these cats, Elastic Revolution Productions. I honestly, I don't even remember how we ended up linking up with them, but they had a space over there, like a 1,800 square foot spot. And we had it. They were like, we came over there, had a little hangout. They were like, yeah, come through, have a little party. So we did one of the parties. It was like our coming out party. Man, that shit was so hot. You know, unfortunately, they ended up getting put out of the building. You know what I mean? Yeah, because the shit was so cracking. But, you know, we sat back with them. We broke bread, obviously. You know, we made dough on it, you know, and they were like, yo, they sat back there, like, even though we got put out our studio, they were like, this is the illest shit that we've ever done. You know what I mean? And we made some money on it. So when we did that, that was like, yo, let's start putting this shit in the clubs or whatever. So we started doing like live shows or whatever. But those are probably two of the memorable joints that we had.
He asked for one, man.
Shut up.
But so, yo, the wildest party I think I threw in high school or college was like, I'm going to talk specifically high school. My junior year of high school, man, my parents went out of town. And when I say out of town, like, bro, they went to Indianapolis, which is an hour away from where I lived in Marion, right? So, like, they weren't, like, out of the state.
Right. They were just down the street, low key.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Yeah, basically, Rex. Like, they weren't, like, that far away. And I was like, yo, I'm going to have a party tonight, you know? And for whatever reason, this was my junior year. So my youngest sister was a freshman. My oldest sister was a senior. I was a junior. Not to incriminate anybody.
How old was everybody again? You said T?
I don't know what their names are, but
how old you said?
I was a junior in high school.
And your sister was what?
A senior and a freshman.
All right.
Yeah. So they were like, you know, I was like, yo, we're going to have some people over tonight. They're like, okay, cool. So then they thinking like, we going to invite.
Okay, cool.
I mean, they were just like, all right, we going to invite a couple people over then too. So, when they thinking like, we going to invite a couple people over too, they thinking like
cousins.
Yeah, like literally 2 people, right? 3 people, right?
You know, James was there, Aubrey.
James was in DC. He
was out of town on the other side. Nah, I know.
A regular weekend. It's a regular weekend. I just
tried to get James's name in today. You know?
I know. But my cousins in Marion were there, but not bad. But anyway, when I say this was the wildest party, bro, like literally, like I just started telling some people, but then I was just like, y'all know me, man. Like I know when I know people, I'm just like, hey, man, everyone's invited. You know what I'm saying? Like, so like people start hitting me and they're like, yo, man, like I heard about this, and I
heard.
Okay, yeah, cool. Long story short, man, like my whole neighborhood is filled with cars, and it's not a neighborhood that normally has cars parked on the street. You know what I'm saying? It's usually cars parked in the driveways and shit. Like, so people are looking outside like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, I mean, literally up and down the fucking street, like both sides packed. So, the long story of this, short story of this is that, like I said, we had to get people the fuck out of there that night because my parents were coming back, right? So got everybody the fuck out of there. There was some shit that was broke and whatever. We hid that shit, figured it out, like cleaned everything up. I think everything is good. I'm like, cool. I'm feeling so confident. I go to sleep. My parents wake me up. They're like, yo, why is there a beer label in this sink? And I'm like, what the fuck? There's a beer label in this kitchen sink. Now, mind you, I was not drinking beer. I was drinking dark brown liquor that night. Shout out to those companies. But anyway, I was so mad that these motherfuckers left that not even that. I was so mad that that's the only thing I didn't find. So then I'm talking, they wake us up. I'm trying to talk our way out of that shit, see what had happened, all that shit. You know what I'm saying? Next morning, I wake up. I'm thinking, like, let me just check outside, make sure everything's cool. The whole backyard, beer bottles, beer cans, blunt guns, cigarette butts all over the backyard. Bro, you seen that movie Project X? This shit looked like that shit in the backyard.
Right.
I was like, what the fuck, man? I'm like, God damn. So then I grab some fucking big ass trash bags, start putting all this shit. Like the sun is still coming up. So I'm like, oh shit. I know my parents are like gonna get up anytime, so I'm like putting all the shit. When we wouldn't get all the shit in my car, like I didn't even have a license at this time, bro. I got my fucking sister's whip, drove all the way out to the fucking like country, dropped all this shit off and threw this shit out. Came back to the crib, and I was like, we good. But that
Got the bodies out of here.
got the bodies out of here. But that shit
sounds like Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, but that's it. I'm telling you, don't get caught, guys. Like, be more prescriptive of how you don't get caught, because I thought
Best bet is to don't have that shit at your house.
Every box, bro. Yeah.
No, I don't have that shit at your house because
don't
being
have
a
that
parent.
Shit at your house.
Yeah, no, being a parent, you didn't see things, and Beto and Aubrey, you too, but soon to find out, you see shit be out of place. Be like, wait a second, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but man. I mean, I guess I think all these things we're talking about at the end of the day set ourselves up for our entrepreneurship type mindsets, like getting people into joints and throwing parties and throwing events. Like, it was a precursor, I guess. I don't know.
There it is.
I don't know. Let's look at it from that side. Go ahead, Rex. Go ahead, Rex.
No. I was just saying, in general.
Yeah. So, I know this is gonna get heavy, but right now I think we gotta speak on this shit, man. Like, I don't want us all to talk about this shit. The Derek Chauvin trial is going on TV, and first off, I don't even know where we need to have this trial when Buddy literally killed a man on camera, but here we are. And we come to find out, through this testimony recently and through this video, body cam, all that shit, it wasn't just 8 minutes and 46 seconds. It was over 9 minutes. So
that's like a whole quarter, almost. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's like almost a quarter.
Yeah.
A quarter, 12 minutes.
And before I get we get into like why they're doing
like you can run a mile
and what they're coming from.
Hold on a second. Like you can even somebody who's not like
a top slow.
Yeah, you can run a mile at this period of time. So just so so we see what nine minutes is in true value. Well, go ahead, T.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, that was it. I was just saying that, but go ahead.
No, I mean, I think that's all that was trying to say. Like, we keep, I think the crazy thing is media keeps replaying this for obvious reasons right now. But, crazy enough, this was like a year ago right now, right? So, but it's like, I guess, like, is what I'm asking is, they keep replaying this. Like, media keeps replaying it. Obviously, they're going to replay it throughout the trial for obvious reasons. They got to keep replaying it, but then they're stopping it and pausing it, and, like
analyzing every moment of it.
Yeah, like so. Yeah. Is it like reliving the trauma? Because let's not forget that this video was viewed
not in such depth.
I think, man, like more than anything, bro, they played them people, man. Like, that's a tough thing to do, man, to replay that in your mind and watch a man die. You know what I'm saying?
And you attempted to somewhat, not saying to somewhat, but you tried to at least stop it.
That's right. And like, how do you feel about it, man? Like, that's torture in itself, man. Like, so yeah, I don't buy off on that shit at all, man. That shit was whack.
That's something I think that's the crazy thing is Aubrey Rex. I wanted to ask you and Beto, have you guys been watching any of the like live footage of the trial? Because I mean, this shit is like the OJ trial. Like, they're airing it on CNN, and it's frankly fucked up, like the line of questioning, but it's great because you can. I feel like the whole line of all the witness testimony this week has been to the point where it's like, this motherfucker not only needs to go to prison for and be convicted of this shit, he needs to go to the bottom of the prison for this shit. Like, the testimony is so damning, bro. Like, an EMT said she wanted to administer first aid. So she wanted to at least check his vitals, and
if she could.
Yes, and they told her, no, you can't do that. So when we say defund the police and fuck the police, this is literally why we say that shit. Y'all told an EMT that's on your team, bro. They on your team. Nah, you can't, because we don't want to get caught up in we killed this dude. So, nah, you chill. Fuck that. Fuck that. I mean, I think the question I want to ask you guys, all three of you guys on a call right now, you know, like, as people of color, you know, Aubrey and Rex is black men. Like, do you think this is an example of how in American culture, black trauma is very well documented but not addressed?
What you got, Rex? What you got, Rex?
I'm over here thinking, actually.
Where it's at on TV, on social media, we keep showing the trauma.
I was gonna say, so like I guess today's kind of but today's day 3, right? 2 or 3. But I didn't tap in and definitely didn't tune in, because to your point, I mean, it's a lot of energy. It's exhausting. It's you know what I mean? And it's to what we were saying is, like, you know, you're going through a trial for something that we clearly know is what it is, right?
Traumatizing.
You know? Not saying, and I don't want to take the value of Mr. Floyd's life. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Right.
But
we all know what happened, man.
Yes, you know.
We all know what happened.
Didn't want to sit there and go through it, but yeah, you know, I mean, I don't know. Do you say hopefully it's a speedy and it goes through, but then at the same time you want to make sure that it's precise and meticulous to the point, you know, unfortunately, but fortunately, where they can at least, you know, hold the people accountable, the cops accountable. You know what I mean? So, you know, they have to, you know, without rushing it and missing it, but it's definitely traumatizing, and it's an exhausting thing to have to sit there and, you know, stop, look again. So
yeah, I'm over that shit, man. I'm done dealing with that traumatic shit, man. Like, it's too much, bro. Like, when you have to sit there and deal with that shit and remember it and
relive
it. Not only that part, you have to remember what that brother was remembering. Like, I saw some clips today on Instagram, man, where it was an older dude with white glasses, man, had to relive that shit.
I saw that.
Yeah, that shit was painful, man.
Bro, but Aubrey, but that's what I'm saying. Like, everyone on the, like, it was the most damning evidence. Like, if this doesn't result in a conviction, then that is literally this is beyond, like, you know, we're
I don't want to say waste of time, but it's a waste of time then if it's not, right?
Yeah, like, we're used to this. We've already been here where it's on tape. Like Rodney King, that was in 92, 93, whenever. 90,
yeah.
Bro, this is 2021. This is like 4 decades later, bro. Like, this shit is on camera again, and now what they've released on camera, like, through the trial, is a body cam from the cops, and it's even worse, right? And, like, I just, you know, before we wrap up this conversation, we can't wrap up this conversation without saluting the brother that was on the stand that testified about this shit, right? The MMA, Donald Williams II, I think was his name. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. Is that his name?
Yeah, no, he handled his business, man.
Man, that was I think one of the most realest testimonies and realest TV moments we'll ever see in our lives. Like,
well, it showed the epitome of kind of the picture of how it's tried to be portrayed, right? It's not the
angry black man, right?
Yeah, I didn't mean to jump in on you, but it's you're building it to, you know, and that's what lawyers do. But specifically, this was a clear example. You're building it to say that I was angry, right? But at the same time, I'm looking. How can and your man's definitely said I was professional.
How can you not be angry?
How can you not be angry? I'm watching you take a man's life in front. You're not even being humane.
Right.
If there's a way to be humane about it.
Right.
So of course I was. Of course I called you out of your name, because you're definite. You know, to me, you're acting out of character. This is not something that I'm personally and it's not humanely accustomed to. Right.
100%.
Yeah. So of course I'm getting. You know what I mean? Like, yo, what the fuck are you doing? You know what I mean? But exactly. He definitely, to your point, he definitely never acted out of character, right? And
exactly.
didn't fall into the trap.
Basically, I'm brand, yeah.
So
I mean, so we all saw what happened. We all, I mean, basically, you know, it was there, black and white, you know, part of the pun. But I mean, when this is all over, predictions. What do you think? What do you think is going to happen? Acquitted,
That's
or
the
you think
question,
you think he's actually going to see some jail time? And if he does get acquitted, what's going to happen?
man, there's so many different elements waiting. Not saying waiting, but coming out of it potentially, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I mean, like, I think, like, after this testimony that we just saw, unless the defense has, like, the most bulletproof fucking defense of all time, and we just nobody
Man.
knows. After what we saw from the prosecution, like the testimony we just saw, there's no way any jury can acquit this guy. Like, these people, like, they had a 9-year-old testify, and they had to get that approved.
Let me do my job.
And EMT said that she couldn't do her job, and all these people were saying they had PTSD, and are like saying they like are apologizing to George Floyd every night because they wish they could have done more. Like,
Done more.
and so, like, I think back to, like, you know, what we talk about, like, you know, like we were saying earlier, like, you know, Aubrey on the last episode said, like, you know, if somebody pull up on me, you know, with this carjacking shit, and my kid's in the car, you gonna catch that one, or we all catching that one, right? Like, that's what I think that it goes back to on this too, man. Like, right? Like, this shit is a community issue, right? Like,
nah, bro, it's bigger than rap. Yeah, because it's an ongoing battle, you know, and it shouldn't be.
It shouldn't be, man. Like, it shouldn't be.
Definitely shouldn't be.
So what do you think, Tony? Guilty?
I mean, I just think, like, you know, the testimony is so damning. Like, I don't.
I mean, we all see it, but what do you think is really going to happen?
When
those jurors come back.
Let's talk facts and reality, man. Like, not even facts. Let's talk reality. It's hard for anybody in America on the other side of this story, like, you know, black people, brown people, people of color, whatever, to imagine that this is going to come back with a guilty verdict. Just historically, like I said, Rodney King was on video.
But it's like you have to. This has to. That has to, because, you know, I mean, you see it. Yeah, you said Rodney King is on video. You know, this is just so much more. It's
If it doesn't, I think that's a thing that we got to worry about, because at that point,
it just be par for the course right now.
Yeah, at that point, if shit gets burnt the fuck down, then you did this. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you didn't prevent it. You didn't do it. You didn't prevent it. Though.
Stop it.
I mean, cities will burn. Cities will burn if
it's going to be the Capitol riots plus the street protesting at the same time.
Oh yeah. Not condoning it, but I could see why, you know, that would happen.
Yeah. Exactly.
I mean, emotions are going to be through
emotions, frustrations. Yeah. It's like, here we go again.
But it's like, again, this is what we went through in 92, 93. It's 2021, 2022. Are you serious? We're still dealing with the same shit? Like, so, I mean, I hope, like, again, what we saw today, like I said, I don't know how you argue against it, unless they got, you know, Jesus coming down, and Muhammad and God and everybody testifying for this guy. Like,
that's why defense attorneys get paid the big bucks, man, because
loophole.
They'll twist everything and exploit what, you know, another thing, and then just, like, you know,
I mean, that's the whole thing. The whole thing right now is they're saying the crowd, conversing over that area is why they had to keep doing what they were doing and couldn't move in and everything. That's their defense, bro. Like,
George, again, I'm not just from, you know, what I would say layman's terms, from seeing what it was and seeing the various angles. He never really looked to be, you know, I mean, of course he looked over the shoulder, probably like, yo, what the fuck are you doing? You know, that type of thing. But he never, and it wasn't even, you know, like an aggressive. At one point, he just kind of looked over like, what? And probably, you know, why are you asking me? Why are you telling me to do this? I mean, the man's sitting on the ground, He's not, trying to get up and run. Not saying like that. Little buddy in Miami 2 weeks ago, spring break, got out the car and ran. That looked a lot more heinous than what George Floyd was doing.
And bro, how non-violently did he get apprehended?
It's not even apples to apples. Just
they literally like grabbed him, like, "Hey, bro, come back here."
Looking at
where you going, bro? Come back.
George Floyd was again complying within reason.
He was literally saying in this new body cam video, "I cannot breathe" the entire time from before they pulled him into the street. So that says enough. You know what I'm saying? Like,
exactly.
So yeah, with that,
Yeah.
We'll see when we check back in next week, and obviously, I'm sure everybody will be tapped in and tuned in, and from there. So
tuned in,
tap and tune. But until next rip, what
stay
they say,
safe.
T?
Yeah, stay safe and make sure you get that. What was that rigatone? If you order
spicy
from Italian,
rigatone,
spicy rigatone.
Yeah, don't get the spicy. Just get the regular rigatone, man.
How you stay safe? The better bet to say is stay ready. You know what I mean?
Stay dangerous, right, Aubrey?
Stay dangerous. Stay dangerous.
Aubrey's gonna tell you stay dangerous. I'm gonna tell you stay ready.
If you stay ready, you ain't gotta get ready.
You ain't gotta get ready.
Remember that. Follow that advice.
Make sure you tell your people to tap in and follow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Go on and do that.
That's what's happening. All right, y'all.
We out.
Peace.
Yeah, we out. 100. Peace. Yo, you've been rocking with 3 Sides to a Story. Follow us on Instagram at 3 Sides to a Story, on Facebook at 3 Sides Podcast, on Twitter. Subscribe, tune in, and turn up on all podcast platforms.